What's happening, everyone? Steve here, Cars with Steve, and today I'm going to show you how to set up Android Auto and Apple CarPlay inside of the 2021 Ford Ranger. Now, this is a very straightforward process. Literally, a plug-and-play solution should really only take about 2 minutes, regardless of whether you're using an Android or an Apple device. But let's dive right into it, keep things simple, and have a little bit of fun while we're doing it. Let's jump into it and figure out how to set Android Auto and Apple CarPlay up. Let's start off with Apple CarPlay. So first thing, you're going to want to take the USB cable and plug it into any of the available USB ports. So I'm plugged in there. Now all I'm going to do is plug my phone into the USB cable there. So I'm just going to go boom. Okay, Apple CarPlay lets me use your phone, so yes, we want to be able to do that, so I have to hit continue, and then we do have to agree to this in order to use Apple CarPlay. So we're going to hit agree, and wait, look at this, Apple CarPlay preferences, I'm just about there. Looking at my phone now, so it's now saying, oh, plug is loose, there we go. Let's plug her back in, there we go. All right, CarPlay, unlock in order to work, so I'm just going to use my fingerprint ID there in order to unlock, there we go. All right, now 1 second, something else came up. Do I want to allow CarPlay with sync? Yes, while the phone is locked, we absolutely want to do that. So just make sure you hit allow there. And look, we're now fully connected. We've got my phone, we've got my messages, and a lot of other things. So we can use Apple Maps, we can use Google Maps, we can use Waze directly through this middle screen. So if your vehicle is not equipped with factory navigation, don't worry about it, because you've got the capabilities to hook up through USB, and you can run off of whatever map app you'd like to directly through this middle screen. You can use things like LiveX Live there as well, and there are a number of other things. Now, one nice thing as well is that when we jump into our settings, we can also go to CarPlay there, and then we can look at the device, and it gives us the ability to customize. So let's say if you listen to your podcast most, we can simply drag that along the top, and look at that. Podcast now choice number 1. You can delete certain things, so if you never listen to podcasts, it's now gone, and it's at the very bottom under more apps. So if for whatever reason an app that you typically use doesn't show up, don't worry about it. Just go to your settings, go to CarPlay, select the vehicle, and then you can rearrange and adjust these as necessary. If for whatever reason you want to make sure that you're charging up but you're not using CarPlay, all we have to do is go to this forward button, hit sync. That's going to bring us back to that sync screen instead. So now we can look at basic Apple CarPlay. We can jump back into CarPlay, I should say, or we can go to settings, jump into Apple CarPlay settings. Now we can turn Apple CarPlay off. So if we do that, look at this. We're now going based off of just my phone. My phone is still being charged while I'm actually connected. We can now remove my phone completely from the vehicle. And as you can see there, boom. So I've still got my phone connected, so over Bluetooth, but Apple CarPlay is no longer turned on. And then we can easily turn that back on as necessary, or we can jump into settings, and then from there phone, and my phone is listed so we can view active devices, manage contacts, set ringtones, etc. But if we go view devices, we can look at my connected iPhone. We can either disconnect it or we can completely remove it. And just a second there we go. We jump back into phone and my phone is no longer connected. So it's really that simple. Next up, setting up an Android device is virtually the exact same process. So we can connect it via Bluetooth, but to set up Android Auto, we're just going to take a USB cable, we're going to plug it into our phone there and watch what happens. Welcome to Android Auto, this simple. So I just need to make sure that my phone's unlocked there, and we're just going to unlock to continue. Now, Android Auto extends the Android platform. We want to continue, we want to make sure we do that. Privacy terms and conditions, same thing, we need to agree to that. And let's look at my phone now. So next up, on the phone, it's saying that Android Auto would like to turn on Bluetooth to pair with my vehicle and allow access to my car. So we're going to hit next to allow that, and we're just going to give it a second there. Now, one thing I actually noticed about Android Auto compared to Apple CarPlay, when you do Apple CarPlay, it'll simply show up. If you ever run into the position where it's kind of caught in this loop, don't worry about it. Literally, all you're going to do is just press the back button there if it doesn't show up automatically and do that, and it'll just take you to this screen instead. Perfect. So look at that. I am now fully connected. My phone is now asking me, do I want to allow access to the messages? So yes, we want to make sure we allow that. Now we're fully connected there, so I can use Google Maps. If I had Waze installed, I'd be able to use that as well directly through this middle screen. I've got my phone settings and basic podcasts there as well. Now from there, I've got the ability to hot press this in order to jump into my maps. I can look at my notifications. I can use my Google Assistant as well. And same thing what we just finished seeing inside of Apple CarPlay. If I want to jump back to the main screen, hit that forward button, and it brings us back to our default, where we've now got a hotkey in order to bring up Google Maps or Waze. We can jump into some basic Android Auto settings, and we can look at our Android Auto preferences, which means we can turn Android Auto off if we want to. So we're connected, we're charging the phone, but Android Auto is no longer engaged. And from there, we can completely remove the phone from Android Auto, and then we still have to jump into the phone in order to remove it from the vehicle. So same thing, if you're not on this screen, all we have to do is go to our basic settings, into our phone, we can view devices, click on the device, either disconnect or completely remove. Let's remove. Boom, go into phone again for a sec, and none of my phones are now connected. That was a look at how to set these things up, and what did I tell you? Super simple. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up because it does help in the whole YouTube algorithm world side of things. Consider subscribing to the channel because it definitely does help me grow. But until I see you next time, hope you stay safe.